All right, guys, this is my daughter's Giant, Liv, made by Giant, the Liv STP 24-inch. And we're doing a major upgrade today with this BrandX Ascend Kids, which I believe is a 90 millimeter dropper. I could be wrong on that. In any case, it's about that. Whatever that is. It'll be enough. The nice thing about this is that it doesn't require a lot of pressure to drop back down. So she should be able to take her body weight, sit on it, and lower it again. On here it says for riders 10 to 14 and a maximum rider weight of 40 kg, whatever that comes out to in pounds. In any case, we're going to go ahead and install it. Now on this bike, it doesn't use a 27.2 seat post. This is a 30.9, so I did buy a shim to help clamp this up. We will need to do that. But for now, all I've done is just remove the old seat post from this, and I took a peek on the inside and it looks like there is a hole accessible just north of the bottom bracket, and that should allow us to hopefully snake this housing cable through and up. So I know this isn't going to be the easiest thing, but it should be doable, and I think I can do it. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't snake anything through the hole, let alone feed it partially in. So I think we're going to have to take the crank off and see if we can't see inside that way with the bottom bracket out. All right, so going ahead and removing the crank here. Luckily I have the tools, but I'm going to go ahead and have to remove the pedal as well, which I already loosened up. So once this is out, I should now be able to use this tool I've got and go ahead and pull the crank arm off. So I'm going to just crank at this, and it should slowly pull the crank off. And I'm going to go ahead and so I'll take the chain off of it as well here, so we don't have tension. And I should just twist this, and it should start pulling the crank off. And I can feel it's getting loose now. So there we go. This is just your standard, square taper crank. All right, and if you were wondering, the tool I used to remove it was this Park Tool CCP22, and this is a spin doctor tool. I don't see a marking on it, unfortunately. Fingers crossed here. I used it before on a GT. That looks like it's gonna work. Sweet. I already got it loose, but you spin it forward on this side. Same thing on the other side, it's opposite. I should probably be able to do this by hand now. Just thread this out. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can show you with the camera. I do think I see a way in. This is our seat post tube that goes up this way, our bottom tube that goes up this way, and our chainstay. So what it looks like is we can hopefully, I might have to zoom out a little bit. I think we can fish a line down there, grab it, and then have enough room to bend it up around the welding right there. So let's see what we can do. I'm feeling like we'll have better luck this time. So I'm gonna just fish this through, or if it just gets lucky and comes out, I might need to see if I can get a tool in there, but I can definitely feel it. Okay, so with the help of the owner, we were able to fish it through there and get it to pull out the bottom bracket. We're gonna bend it a little bit and then fish one end back up, and then hopefully it'll straighten itself out enough to be smooth enough for actuation. All right, so Mia has the small little ball piece that's included. So she's gonna run the cable through that, and once it's through, now she's gonna thread the cable through the cable housing.
So next we have to put on the shim.
The dropper post is a 27.2 diameter, and the seat post on this bike, seat tube, is a 30.9. So this is a shim that reduces the size from a 30.9 to a 27.2. So now the seat post will fit in there nice and tight. All right, and on the dropper, the seat post dropper. There we go, it's in there. And then yep, you run it that way. You can see the cable is in place. And so now we just got to lower it into the seat post. All right. So Mia pointed out something here.
So, you know, if we're gonna put this in, then somebody else has to pull this at the same exact time.
Yeah, right. Because when you push that cable down into the seat tube, it's so kinked down here that if you just push it, we're going to form another kink. So you want to have somebody else pulling on the other side as you sit that down in there, right? So let's go ahead and push it into the seat post tube. And as you push it down, I'll pull. So I should feel some slack, right? So as you're pushing down, I'm able to pull this out a little bit too. There we go. And stop right there. Let's stop right there, okay? You're going to have to connect or put this lever together. It comes in two pieces. One metal piece here, and then the bottom piece, or the actual lever, thumb lever itself. As you unscrew this piece, inside you'll find this end. Now I'm not sure what this name is for it, but this is going to clamp onto your cable. So this is going to run through here and through the back. Pretty simple. And you'll see on the lever itself that there is a hole. I'll just kind of demonstrate this way. And then on one side is an Allen. You're going to tighten that down so it clamps onto the cable, and that's going to give you the tension that you need. Now, of course, you're going to do this with this circular cylinder piece inside of the lever here, and then you can use an Allen from the top or bottom to clamp it down. But before we even get there, we're going to have to pull our dropper post back up out of the seat tube a little bit, seat post tube, and we're going to have to find out how much slack we need and then cut this to length, put the end ferrule back on it, run the cable back through again, and then we can clamp it all down inside of our lever onto our handlebar. So we'll do that now. So figured we'd have to come back in here and do this. We're gonna have to shorten our cable. So we already got the lever mounted, and in this case we mounted it on the inside of our brake lever here, and that gives pretty good thumb position when we did a little test fit. So we know how long we want this cable to be. We want it to be long enough so that when we twist the bars, it's not going to get snagged and pull out. And we have just enough right here. So we know where that's going to be. But now we have to cut it. Problem is, if we cut it right now, there's a cable inside, right? And then we'd cut our cable, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to pull our dropper back out. And as I do, it's going to pull some of our cable with it. Now, I'm going to just give it a good yank and know that I have the cable far inside of this housing, farther than I need, right? Because look how much cable I pulled out. It's probably almost out entirely. So I'm just going to set this dropper down to the side for a moment, and I'm going to take my cable cutter and cut a nice clean cut on the end, like that. And now we've got to make sure that it's open on the inside. There's a little liner on the inside of this that our cable goes through. So what we typically do is use a little pick and just make sure that we can stick it in there and it's open. Now I have access to that Allen on the top. Grab my 2mm again. Make sure that we're nice and tight here. So I'm just holding the back side with my thumb, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. And that should be it. This should give us the leverage that we need. And I guess here's the real test, right? As soon as I put this back on here and tighten this down, we'll have Mia go over here and see if the dropper raises up. If it does, then we are in business. So I'm just going to pull out my 3mm again and tighten this down. She wants it in this position here. So we're just start off with about the same angle as we have for the shifters on the other side. So it's kind of angled up a little bit. We're going to just start with this, and we can adjust it, right? This is a carbon bar. I'm not going to get too tight. We're pretty much done. Lever works good. Pull it in. Seat goes up. she's able to sit on it and lower it back down. Maybe there we go. It's down. Yeah, remember you got to release the lever there. But yeah, reverse install now. I just got to shove the cartridge back in there, reinstall the cranks, and we'll be set. So, Mia, what do you think?
Thanks, Dad. I really enjoyed helping you, and I also hope to enjoy it on the next ride.
Hopefully, it'll make riding a lot easier too.
And that.
All right, so just to wrap this up, now that you've got the dropper on here, you kind of want to figure out how do you use it, right? Well, if you're going, well, first go ahead and get on the bike here. First thing we want to do is set the right dropper height. So you can still move the dropper up and down a little bit on the seat post, but she's got it up in the high position. So Mia, put it on the high.
Okay.
That's the highest one. Now sit down. So here's how you know you've got it in the right position. Go ahead and pedal so that this foot is at the lowest spot possible. Right about a little bit more, right there. Okay, so her knee is not locked, it's just got a little bend in it. That's about what you want. So this is a good riding position. Just cruising around town, you're climbing a hill or something, you need that best position. This is perfect. Now, you see a hill coming up, you're gonna do a jump or something, you're gonna hit that lever, you're gonna push the seat down with your butt, you're gonna sit back up again, stand back up again in your riding position with your knees locked, not locked, but knees bent a little bit. Now, you have the ability to move around the cockpit here without getting hit, without hitting your butt on the saddle. And then you wanna ride again, you wanna just ride normally, push it up, and now you're back in a position. That's how you're going to use this dropping post.
And then also, if you're not used to either one, you can always, instead of going up and down, you can always just push down in between.
Yep, if you want to do that too. Now, if I'm going to let go here and you're going to get off the bike real quick, you want to drop it. And now I'm going to let go, and you're off. There we go. All right, guys. Mia, say bye to the internet.
Bye.
Bye, internet. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this enjoyable. See you next time.